The room at club headquarters felt taut with relief and intention as Jules Koundé slid his signature across a page that now binds him to Barcelona until June 2030. This is not a simple extension. It reads like a public promise. 5 years of availability, adaptability, and appetite. And it arrived in the kind of official moment that sends ripples through dressing rooms and boardrooms alike. Joan Laporta stood nearby, the gesture small but unmistakable. The president's presence turned a paper formality into a headline that tells supporters and rivals the same thing. This defence is being rebuilt with purpose. What makes the deal heavier than ink is the flexibility Koundé brings. He's a player who thinks like a centre-back but moves like a full-back. And that duality means Hansi Flick can choose shapes rather than patch holes. One day he can be the hard, central spine against a bulldozing striker. The next, he's the darting outlet overlapping down the flank, an outlet whose timing can unbalance the opposition. That kind of chess piece is rare. It lets coaches swap systems without changing the personnel. And for a club that wants trophies, tactical versatility converts into minutes and, eventually, silverware. Koundé himself spoke plainly about being happy and hungry, not content with past trophies, but focused on what's next, which is the mindset a club rebuilding its identity needs right now. There is also a quiet ledger effect. The contract's timing and terms were discussed for weeks, but formalising it now helps Barcelona with practical headaches that all big clubs know intimately. Player registration, wage structure, and the dominoes of new signings. With Koundé's future secured, the club gains room to breathe as it attempts to register incoming players and balance books. A small administrative pivot that can determine whether a new striker or goalkeeper actually sees the pitch this season. In short, this is as much an off-field manoeuvre as it is an on-field statement. Inside the squad, the deal recalibrates competition. Eric Garcia has been a thorny rival for minutes at right-back. Flick's decisions in pre-season and early matches, sometimes starting Garcia, sometimes Koundé, reflect a coach testing stability against form. Competition in the squad of elite professionals is not merely friction. It sharpens instincts. Koundé's extension raises the stakes for everyone vying for that channel. Youngsters eye more concrete paths to minutes. Established players understand the hierarchy, and the coach can select with strategic clarity rather than insurance. Expect the right-back spot to become one of the season's quiet sagas, where every training session counts like a scene in a longer drama. This contract also colours the stories of the young and brilliant around him. When Koundé talks about playing alongside incendiary attackers who take risks, players whose dribbling and creativity demand defensive cover, he sounds like someone ready to sacrifice the neat, headline-friendly stat line to enable brilliance. That willingness to make space for a teammate, to defend a little harder so another can shine, is what turns a transfer into a culture change. It's why fans will watch the partnerships he forms on the right with interest. Chemistry with the likes of the club's brightest youngsters could be the difference between a good season and a legendary one. Of course, contracts do not win matches by themselves. The real test begins on the grass. Minutes won back from injury, positional decisions by the manager, and those tense final minutes where pragmatism often outlifts flair. Koundé has spoken about learning to be more pragmatic in closing games, about conceding fewer late goals. The small, temperate ambitions that translate into trophies when a team stitches them together across a season. If he follows through, this renewal might not only stabilise a defence, but also catalyse a more mature, result-driven Barca when games are on a knife edge. So what should we watch next? Pay attention to the way minutes are parcelled out early in the season. Watch how Flick uses Koundé in duels that test both aerial power and overlapping speed. See whether the contract settles the internal competition or instead fuels a heated race for the position. Above all, listen to the tone in his post-match interviews. It's one thing to sign until 2030 on paper, another to live those seasons with a hunger that grows louder after every tackle, every clearance, every assist. This is a chapter that starts with a signature but will be judged in the small, relentless details. And if the early signs are anything to go by, Barcelona has just placed a significant piece on a board they intend to dominate.